Welcome to the Elliott Confidential podcast. I'm Christopher Elliott, here with Aaron Elliott, my photographer, and Aiden Elliott, my videographer, who is responsible for this entire podcast. We are in Tokyo still. This is week 3 in Tokyo, and we've had quite a few adventures, haven't we, boys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we've
Lots of adventures.
discovered lots of parts of town that we'd never been to before, but unfortunately some of them were more noteworthy than others,
Yeah.
Really?
to put it
Like-
lightly.
Well, some of them were like dirtier, some of them were cleaner.
Oh.
I mean, we like Ikebukuro
Are you talking about
Center.
Shinjuku?
Oh, Shinjuku's dirty.
Yeah.
Now, guys, when somebody goes to Japan, a lot of people, they'll just stay in a hotel, go to Shinjuku, and then leave.
But first, our question of the week, which is, what is your favorite holiday to travel? It is Easter and Passover in most of the Western world, and so that's a holiday a lot of people do travel. What's your favorite holiday? We've gone to a grocery store almost every day to go shopping. We're living in an apartment, so we've been trying to do some cooking. And a Japanese grocery store is not like other grocery stores. So, Aaron, can you describe kind of what the experience is like?
Well, a Japanese grocery store is almost impossible to navigate because everything is, firstly, in Japanese. That language barrier is very hard to cross without the help of Google.
Google Translate.
Google
Yes,
Lens actually is a lifesaver because, to be honest, you're probably not familiar with 99% of the products that you find there.
Yeah. So
And-
that's actually a really good tip, is if you are going to a place like Japan, make sure that you have a good eSIM with lots of data so that you can use Google Lens to decipher what is on the packages.
But there's a lot of cool things that these Japanese grocery stores do have that you might not expect. Like, for instance, you can get lots of even cheaper Japanese food than if you were to go into, for example, a convenience store. Convenience stores are actually more expensive than the grocery stores. You can get better quality sushi, just really easy takeaway food.
So when you check out of a Japanese grocery store, the process is a little bit different, right? Because they have these, we can see here in this picture, they've got these barricades, these barriers that are still left over from COVID, and they ring you up, and then what happens, Aaron?
Well, these are grocery stores. What they'll do is they'll have a cash register, and she'll ring everything up, and then she'll put your basket down at a payment station, which is very different from the sort of setup that you are used to in Europe and North America and most parts of the world, where really they ring you through and then you pay right there, and there's no extra space, so that way she can keep or he can keep ringing people up while you try and figure out how to pay, which is very convenient because figuring out how to pay can be challenging in Japan. Sometimes you go to a grocery store and they only want cash, for instance.
There's multiple payment options.
Yeah.
So they ring you up, then they put you in front of this terminal, then you pay, and then, we have a picture here of Aaron, then you go to a different station and you bag your own groceries.
Yes, and that's something that you have to do outside of the payment station. So we're used to just doing it all in one place, but here they have different places for each thing. And I think that the reason for that is pretty obvious. It's without that, these grocery stores would get really crowded because they actually deal with a lot of traffic, especially in the afternoon. People will get on their bikes, they'll bike over to the grocery store, and they'll stand in these really long lines. And
So here's a tip, though. If you do go to a grocery store, avoid 5 to 6 p.m. because all the salarymen are coming out of work and they're going to the grocery store, and the lines are practically out the door.
Yeah, speaking of bikes, people on bikes here are kind of crazy, aren't they?
They are on the sidewalks.
Well, there's
I
bike
actually have a
lanes.
column on that coming out soon.
Yeah, there's bike lanes, but they still go on the sidewalk. And also there's this little tiny tunnel under the bridge to go over to the convenience store that's closest to us. And sometimes I'll just be sitting out there drinking like a drink or something. And there's these bike barricades, and they'll just go like swivel right through them and then go into the... It's like, that's illegal. I thought these guys, they liked rules.
Well, not for bikes. The bikes get... Although, I have to say, we were walking about 2 or 3 days ago, and we saw 2 Japanese police officers that pulled someone over who was biking, apparently violating some rule.
Yeah, everyone is so well behaved except for bikes.
Yeah, bikes are a little crazy.
Yeah.
All right, so We actually visited a very urban place. We've already talked about Shinjuku a little bit, but we have some footage that I wanted to show you of Shinjuku. It is, as I said, it's the place that people, when you think of Tokyo, you're thinking of Shinjuku. It's in the movies. It's the big, tall buildings with lots of signs, like Times Square a little bit in New York.
I was joking earlier. I did actually do my job. This is some pretty nice footage. We got some like good shots, like zooming in onto the city. The crazy part about Shinjuku actually is that towards the end of the day, the light will not hit any of the buildings around it except for like the main part of Shinjuku. So it's like this giant city that's like dark framing Shinjuku.
It's
I
very,
don't know if they built it that way.
Moody, yeah. So the main attractions in Shinjuku are, you've got, what do we have, Aaron?
Well, you have these things. Firstly, you have the train station.
Yes.
Then you have Godzilla.
Wait, I have to ask you, why is the train station such a huge attraction?
It's one of the busy. It's actually the busiest train station in Tokyo.
It's in the world,
Really?
actually. Yeah,
Oh,
in the
I had no
world.
idea.
I mean, maybe China has a busier station, but
I think it's
read
at least
was-
in Japan. It's the busiest.
It's extremely busy.
Zawarudo.
Yes.
But anyway, they have a cat on a big billboard that's popular. They've got Godzilla. There's a place called Golden Guy that's pretty popular. And there's a park.
Golden Guy?
Yes, called Golden Guy.
Oh, and Don Quixote, don't forget
Don
that.
Quixote you can get anywhere. But
They
have a
big
park.
Don Quixote,
Yeah.
which is big. It's crazy.
Giant
Don
donkey.
Quixote is like the store you walk into and you don't really buy anything. You just are like looking. It's crazy, and it's very claustrophobia inducing.
Yeah. They call it. Wait, did you say that? Yeah, they call it the Mega Donkey.
Yeah. It's the only mega donkey I've ever seen. And there may be others.
No,
but-
we've been to. There are other more spacious Don Quixotes that we've been to, but they're outside of
They got a lot
Tokyo.
of funny
Here
naming
it's
conventions
all.
here.
Here it's all super cramped though. Like
Yes.
that Don Quixote in Shinjuku's.
If you have a fear of enclosed spaces or enclosures, don't go into the Don Quixote. Anyway, there's just a ton of tourists there. If you want to go meet other Americans, this is a really good place to go.
Yeah, I mean, it's like on the spot. If you go to that one street where you see Godzilla, there's always some foreign tourist walking by like, oh, there's Godzilla. Oh, there's Godzilla. It's
Yeah.
the same reaction 24/7. It's crazy.
Now, I think in terms of overall quantity of Americans, that probably takes the cake, that area over there. But if you want to see like percentage-wise, more Americans than Japanese people, go to the pizza.
Oh yeah, well there's
that
part of
area.
town. Yeah, right.
The pizza is a very popular, not popular, but like legendary, because it wasn't actually that stuff.
that part of town is popular.
That part of town is called Hiro. Hiroo.
Yeah.
I want to go back to the pizza.
That's a
place
very
is good.
international
You like their
neighborhood.
pizza, right?
Yeah, very good.
There's another really good place to meet Americans if you want to go to Tokyo and be with Americans, and that is in the park. And tell us a little bit more about the park. We have some pictures here.
Okay, well, let me talk about the park. So, there's a place called Yoyogi, but really the train station that you want to get off on is Harajuku on the JY line, but there are other lines. And basically, this is one of the most touristed parks ever. You have Yoyogi Park, and right next to it is the Meiji Sanctuary, which is technically a shrine, but it's kind of like a park anyway. It's forested, it's beautiful, and it's filled with tourists. You've got tourists coming off the bus, by the busload, really.
Yes. And we have a picture here of your brother trying to look really cool at the Meiji. Is it called the Mejiro Sanctuary?
Meiji Sanctuary.
Meiji. So the part of town we're in is Mejiro.
I was messing around with the sunglasses because those are the glasses with the cameras in them.
Yes.
Yeah.
However, Yoyogi Park, which here we have a picture of Yoyogi Park, it's beautiful blossoms here, is the place where you go when you don't want to meet any Americans, because almost no tourists go here. It's a lot of Japanese people, kids learning how to bike. It is beautiful.
Yeah, it's the same park, but basically whenever you go out away from the shrine to the areas where people have exercise, then all the Americans go away. I was like, oh, what's up here?
Yeah, interesting. But look, you can see these beautiful flowers are in bloom, these spring flowers, and it is starting to get very warm here as well. Today, when we're recording this on a Saturday. It's going to be in the high 80s here in Tokyo. So it's starting to feel a little bit more like summer here.
Yeah.
The best view, though, is on a clear day is of Mount Fuji. And a few days ago, we had a nice clear sunset and a clear view of Mount Fuji. This is Aaron trying to get the picture, but if you look here, this is the actual picture from our apartment.
Yeah, there was actually a clear day where we could have taken a picture.
So beautiful. Well,
One of the days you could just perfectly see Mount Fuji. You can even see like there was still snow on it.
Yeah, there is. Of course, there's still
there
snow
is.
on
You
it.
can't see anything today. Today's like one of those days. If you're from Southern California, you probably remember the 1980s where it was like every day you couldn't see the mountains. That's what it's like today. We have like a yellow alert air quality.
I remember that time. It was horrible.
Yeah, that's right. It's much better now, actually. Now the air quality in Southern California is much better.
Yeah, finally they fixed it.
One of our favorite parts of this podcast is when we look at some funny signs, and we have a few that we found amusing, and you might as well. Here's one at our favorite place for ramen, and that is, I don't even understand why this is called The Last of the Cash Register.
Yeah.
It's like a novel, The Last of the Cash Register. What do you think that they actually were meant by that?
I think that it means that they ran out of cash, or
It says Neji Saigo, and then I don't know what the end character means,
Yes.
but it literally just means register, last, and then we could probably translate that last one. That it just means the same thing as far as I can tell. So
Yeah. This is one of our favorite restaurants called Ipuro, and they do very nice ramen. If you're near Shinjuku Station, check it out. This one really was a head turner, and we have a story behind it. It's a place called the Deutsches Haus, really, and it is a German language school. But they also have a store. It's right around the corner from where we live. And when I walked past it, it said, "Here, no American products." And then it had a big line through the flag and picture of Donald Trump.
yeah,
And at first, we were like hesitant to go in because we thought they would kick us out if we spoke American English. But then we actually decided we were going to go in. And what happened, Aiden?
we went in and then we left.
Like, okay, all right.
You know, we didn't find any products that we wanted to buy, and then we left. Now, here's the thing: is if this was an American import store, this would send more of a message. But this is a German import store.
Yes.
They're not supposed to have American products in the first place.
Obviously they're not going to have any. But they also were trying to make a political statement. I thought that we would get kicked out. I mean, I was really concerned.
Yeah.
What ended up happening is we went in, and okay, that's the Reader's Digest version. We went in and we went out. All right.
Yeah.
But we went in, we checked it out. There was a woman there who was at the cash register, and she was very polite.
Yep.
And she did not kick us out.
Yep.
She like bowed and did all the Japanese things that you do in a store, and we felt very comfortable there.
So, now we get to the question of the week. Last week, our question of the week was, what was the longest amount of time you spent on vacation? And remember, this week's question of the week is, what is your favorite holiday to travel? So let us know about those. So last week, Sam answered, we are on permanent vacation since we left the United States last September to become roaming expats. We did sit-downs in Australia, Qatar, Abu Dhabi, and visited Oman. In 2 weeks, we were off to Azerbaijan, Malta, Norway, and back to Australia for a few months. Plans after that include Kathmandu, Sri Lanka, Kazakhstan, and back to the Middle East. The world is the most wonderful gift.
Wow. Good for you.
Now we're jealous of you.
I think we're
Good for
jealous.
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I talked to you, Sam, before, and I know that you wanted to go to Azerbaijan, so I'm curious to see what you think of that. We may follow you there. But these other places are great. We haven't been to Malta, but Norway for sure is one of our favorite
You just have a
destinations.
great time.
Yeah, enjoy.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
I have the best time ever.
Okay. It's okay. Kate says, 1 month-ish in Costa Rica. I have a condo there, and it's amazingly beautiful. Oh, I'm jealous now. Technically...
I hope you enjoy your time in Costa Rica.
Yeah. Me too.
Kate!
Technically, the longest vacation I took was a year in Europe. Wow.
Whoa.
This was back in 1979. I graduated from high school and was an exchange student in Germany, Deutschland.
World travel
But I had
here.
also graduated. That's a gap year. That's a gap year. So we didn't have to go to school.
I wish I could have a gap year.
Oh, you can. You want a gap year?
I had
arranged.
I had a gap year.
You have like a gap life.
Yeah, gap life.
Okay. Gwyn says, 4 weeks on safari in southern Africa. Botswana, South Africa, Zambia, Zimbabwe. Heavenly. I'm sure it was heavenly.
Okay, all right. Gwyn, that sounds like an awesome experience. We've been to a couple of those places.
I wish I could be there.
Yeah, some of those places are, I wouldn't say high risk, but, make sure you have your shots.
No, South Africa's okay.
South
Botswana
Africa.
apparently is like really safe. We should have gone there.
Oh, we still can.
Botswana.
Yeah.
Botswana.
Zambia and Zimbabwe, I mean,
Botswana.
I heard some things about there. I'm not sure how safe that area is.
We're going to continue exploring Tokyo, and we're going to try to get out of town next week, and we'll have more from this part of Japan. Thank you so much for watching the LA Confidential podcast. Don't forget to answer our question. We'll read your comments next week. Have a good one.
Ciao.
Bye.
Hasta luego.